Yay Media Group.
So we're going to start. I understand there's already a lot of gameplay that happened. We had our first eviction, but we're going to start from our very first opinions. Right when we saw them, what popped out to us and who we thought was going to win or who we liked most. And then we'll go from there and catch everybody up.
Okay. Ashley, I think she's sweet, but...
This is first opinions.
First opinions. I was like, why are you lying about what you do for a living? I hate when people lie.
She lied?
Yeah, she didn't tell everybody she's a lawyer.
Oh, I see. When you get in the house, why don't you tell them?
Yeah.
I never understood that either.
Yeah.
I never understood that because you are there so long, and we won't break every single person down like this, but you are in that house so long that it's hard for me to lie in life in general because I just like being who I am and people like me and people don't like me, but I'd rather be me than pretend to be someone else. So when you're in there saying I'm a doctor or I'm a chemist or what is she?
She is a lawyer.
That doesn't mean you can't throw a ball into a clown's mouth faster than me. That has nothing to do with that.
Right.
So, but if you're lying and you're trying to have a heart-to-heart to really get to know somebody and you're playing a character or you're lying about what you do, you're never going to get that bond.
Right.
So I never understood that, not just with Ashley, with everybody, but to each their own. That's just our game and my game sucked. And you should get more credit for what you did. You won and you took fourth and you played twice. I don't want to go there, but you should.
And then another thing that stuck out with Ashley was when the first week, the HOH is trying to find anybody to put on the block because they don't want to get blood on their hands. Don't take a 2-hour shower if she really did take it.
We said first opinions. First
opinions. Oh, I wanted to go there.
All right, we'll go there after. Let's just quickly go. Okay. I'll tell you. All right. My first opinions that jumped out, instead of going through every single person, I don't want to take too long and I want to catch everybody up because everyone's up to speed anyway. But I'll tell you, watching with our family, when we first sat down, I'll start with Keanu because Keanu looks like Maui. Oh, wow. Look at that. Talk about production value.
Yeah.
Nice job up there, Ian. And so Keanu popped out to me because we love Moana in our family. I watched that movie 1,000 times. And Lawson, our oldest one, is like, oh my God, is that Maui? He thought he looked like Maui, the Rock's character in Moana. So he was our favorite from jump. That was our first guy that jumped out to us. The cowboy, Riley, is that his name? Riley jumped out to us right away. I think Will jumped out to us right away because he was from North Carolina.
Catherine, first impression of her was feisty.
Catherine? Which one's Catherine?
Blonde, pretty blonde.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of feisty, will stick up for herself, doesn't back down. That's kind of what I pictured.
And for some reason, Adrian popped out to me. He was very quirky, and I love this production value. He popped out to me. He was very quirky, and I just thought it'd be interesting to be in the house with him because it seems like he's got a lot to say and he'd keep it entertaining. Because what you have to do, half of the battle in that house is keeping yourself entertained during the down times. And I feel like he's someone that I could just talk to and kind of laugh with.
I thought Morgan was super cute.
Morgan was my favorite out of the girls that I saw. And that was, we'll get into that later. But my initial thoughts after I saw the cast, and Kelly as well. Kelly was another one that kind of popped out to me. Mm-hmm. That was our initial that was my flash first instinct of, oh man, I kind of like these guys. That's it.
I liked Lauren because she's from Louisiana.
Lauren, I thought immediately this girl's going to break hearts. You know what I mean? And someone's going to get their game in trouble.
So was I not right when I said, they showed her and then they showed Zach, and I go, Zach's going to love her. And
you did.
And then he came on.
And I said, you know what? I think Zane is going to get her. That's what I said.
Yeah,
or Zay, sorry. Zay. I go, Zay's going to get her. Yes. So that was our first initial reaction, watching with the family, our first thoughts. You shouldn't jump to conclusions, but who doesn't these days?
Yeah.
But then we'll break down everybody else as it moves on,
Mm-hmm. That was just first impressions. I'm with you. I would have taken the $5,000 and let Vince. I mean, Vince could have got the veto if she would have just let him. Zach could have used his what reward that he got, took himself off the block.
But you're right. She might have then been spiteful because then Ava would have been in the egg costume, which I would have loved.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see her because Vince was falling down and Ava's just clumsy anyway. So she would have been rolling around the house so that would have been great television to see her in that.
They would have had like the voice sounds of cracking, eggs cracking every time.
That would have been great to see her in that egg costume. So I would have liked that. But then you're right. Riley might have went up on the block and then it's 3 powerful guys and then go.
Right.
Then who goes home?
But Keanu, my goodness.
Dude.
I love him.
My boy's still in it.
He has proven I want him to win.
But you know what's funny? If he was on the block this week against, I don't know whether it's Zach.
He wouldn't have gone home.
I don't know. Zach said he would have stayed if it was against Keanu, but Vince might have went home. I don't know. You never know how it's going to work out. But it seems like the target's fading off Keanu. And the way, we'll get into the way he plays. Like we were talking, I guess we could talk about it now. When we were watching just now that last Battle Back, is that what it's called? Blockbuster. He's so calm now because he's been in it so many times that he's actually focusing on what's going on. And I was watching Zach specifically because I see a little of myself in Zach. He's a way better guy than me. I'm not comparing myself to him. But I saw him like getting hyped up and like jumping up and down. I'm like, dude, that's the wrong way to go. That's what I did with the clown shoe. I got hyped up. I went in there crazy, not thinking, just powered through this, and I lost. And I was like, he's not even thinking because he's, it's a nervous feeling. If I don't win this, I'm going home.
When it's live too.
Yeah.
And you can hear that audience in the background, that makes you even more nervous. When I remember when me and Natalie in season 11, it was, me, her, and Kevin, and me and Natalie had to battle each other. And I remember Julie came on and I could hear the audience in the background and I could just feel my hands felt so cold. And I was like, don't shake. Because it was a competition where I had to roll a ball into the correct head of household
Heads
from each.
Roll.
It was the heads will roll. And I was like, stay calm. And all I kept saying in my head, I feel like I barely listened to anything Julie said in the directions because all I kept saying was Jesse, Ronnie, Jesse, Russell, Jesse, Ronnie, Jesse, Russell. Because I was like, don't forget those main things. Because when you're nervous and people are watching you and it's live, I think it's definitely more nerve-wracking than being in the yard when it's taped.
Yeah, but it's still, when you're when you know your life is on the line, it's tough to stay calm. But I think that's why Keanu keeps winning, because he's very calm and other people feel the pressure. So that's a very important part that when you're in there, if you obviously haven't played the game, you don't think about. But being cool is a big part of winning a lot of those competitions, because they're pretty simple when you're sitting on the couch, right? But when you're in there and your life's on the line, the stakes are way higher.
Yeah, just like clown shoe.
Yeah, just like clown shoe.
But I do think socially, because we've seen her on when we played 13, she is a more mature version of herself and she's doing a great job. She's really mingling with everybody. I feel like, we will get into this one. I feel like she's pretty neutral with everyone except for when Keanu was trying to bond with her and he was saying how he didn't watch her season, that he watched the highlights. But then he pointed out all, I guess, the bad stuff that she didn't like. And then she got mad at him. But I had to laugh a bit out that because I was like, Keanu can't win like this week at all.
No, and it's sad because Keanu was one of the guys preseason I started rooting for because, he was a dungeon master and I was a nerd growing up. I played Dungeons and Dragons like crazy. And I thought, okay, he's pretty social. But yeah, and then when the game started, he just does not know how to talk to people, man. When you meet somebody, you don't say, hey, remember all these horrible things that happened in your life? And again, for Rachel, I mean, those 2 seasons back to back, between her feuds with her feud with Reagan And then on our season, her feud with Danielle. I mean, those were legendary feuds. I mean, it got ugly, it got personal. And I think, that competitor, that viciousness is still inside of her, but she has done a great job of keeping it low key. But you saw, I mean, when Zay was coming after her, she had that quick, you come after the queen, you're going to get beheaded. I mean, she is the queen of the one-liners. And in the episode last night or the night before, I forget which one, where they were talking, she was going through her fashion and Jimmy was like slaying her. And for her to respect that Jimmy knows how to give one-liners just as good as her, like she was like, oh, I can't go toe to toe with him. So that is a fight though I want to see. I want to see that fight.
Same here. Keep that thought. We're going to come back and talk about that. We're going to take a short break and then we will come right back.
All right, everybody out there, have you heard of this new food delivery service called Goldbelly? Because it's my new fave.
Oh, I already told a couple of my girlfriends about it. And with Thanksgiving and the holidays coming up, I was like, you have to use it. I already ordered us some pumpkin cake from Goldbelly.
What I love most about Goldbelly, it gives you a little taste of home. No matter where you're from in the United States, you can get great barbecue from Texas, great lobster rolls from Maine, or you could get great pizza from Chicago, where I'm from. So it gives you a little taste of home and you get to travel while you order. And the one thing I love most is food and travel.
Whenever you do your order form, I always put the date that I expect it to be here. And then when they deliver it, I can put it in the freezer and have everything ready. We're going to use it for the holidays and especially in December because we are going to have a lot of people here.
It's great for hosting and having people out of town, maybe even out of state, giving them a little taste from home. It's football season. It's great for Sundays. And like Jordan said, nothing's better for the holidays, especially if you don't like to cook.
So if you are looking for that perfect holiday gift or you want to impress your friends and family with an epic Thanksgiving, go to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code TOGETHERMESS.
That's goldbelly.com, code TOGETHERMESS for 20% off your first order. Trust us, you won't be disappointed.
You know what I meant to ask you in the opening of this? Were you a fan of Big Brother before, or did you not even know Big Brother and had to watch seasons of Big Brother before you were going to be on? Because I had to do that. I was scouted. I was 22 and I didn't even know the game.
Yeah.
And I went in the house being like, okay, wait, HOH, that means head of household.
Look, like I said, I was recruited to the show. I'm not afraid to say that. It's one of those things where, obviously I watched the most recent season and I had a feeling that Blockbuster or like I think it was called the AI Arena last year, it was coming back, and so when they announced that, I'm like, thank God I watched the most recent season. And then I also watched season 16 as well because they said it was such an iconic season. And so, when I have like Zach in season 16 crashing out, I'm like, this is incredible, And so those were the two seasons that I watched leading up to the show. And I was recruited for the show.
That's awesome.
So do you have any regrets? Because you played it like a class act. I'm sure you wanted to stay longer, but is there anything that you look back on? Because we both played twice, and there's always things like, man, I wish I could have done different.
But you can't do that.
You can't do that, but it happens to everybody.
Look, I think there are two things. The first thing is when I won the first competition and I won the $10,000, they announced it to everybody, right? And so I was going to come in there and be, a bit more cutthroat, like, try and, be a little bit more on edge. However, when you do that and you win the $10,000, it's like my game had to change to be more of, laid back, not playing as much, because everyone that week one, even though I had immunity, they're like, oh, Zach, if you were available, you would automatically be on the block. I'm like, well, thanks, guys. That makes me feel really great about my situation, right? And so I had to make some type of adjustment there. The second thing is look, if I had known that Vince had thrown my name under the bus in the Adrian vote to the other side, the minority vote, I would have used the power. Let's be real, because I wouldn't have realized, I didn't know for a fact that that was the case. I knew that when I was in the house, my relationships with Keanu Catherine and Riley and Kelly, like they all changed after that vote. And it was a little bit tough trying to interact with them in terms of game. And so if I had known that Vince had thrown my name under the bus, I would have used the power, because at that point, you're kind of questioning who your true final two is, your final threes are, right? And so those were probably the two different scenarios that it could have gone different for me. But look, like I said, hindsight's always 20/20. I am still happy with how I played, and I don't regret anything at all. It was still a fantastic experience.
To record straight, you got to keep that 10 grand, right?
For sure. I was able to keep
Oh, good. Good for you. Okay, who do you think is playing the most reckless game?
Oh gosh. Kelly's a train wreck, but she keeps getting lucky winning these comps. But I'm conflicted about her also. But I would say Kelly if we're looking for like a short answer. But I'm kind of like into keeping a pawn around. People think like, oh, if they make it to final two. No, like I would absolutely, if I was trying to win the game, take Kelly because she's so bad at the game. And I would be like, girl, I promise I'm going to take you. You're probably going to win. You can beat me. You've done so good. Or you want to sit by the worst player. You want to win. I would win the game.
I think that's why your sister, she was like, I want to team up with Ava.
Yeah.
At final two.
Yeah, I love Ava too. Ava is so fun.
She seems so sweet. Kelly stresses me out. She's all over the place. I don't know what she's thinking. She offers to put herself on the block. I'm like, what are you doing? And I really did think she was going to go home this time. I was like, oh, she's for sure going home. And I was like, because Adrian's going to win this blockbuster. And then it's just crazy how Big Brother is. People who you think are going to win normally don't win. And then, and everything just like falls apart.
So annoying. I mean, I was kind of indifferent. I was kind of like, just because Kelly keeps volunteering to go on the block, I'm like, okay, just because of that, I don't really care if she stays, because even she talks a lot and she's like, oh, Rachel this, and she just like goes around the house just saying the most random things that has nothing to do with what anyone else was thinking. And so I was kind of like, if she went, I wouldn't really care. But if Adrian went, Adrian's super nice, but he seemed like he was zoning out of the game regardless. Like he did not seem into it that last week.
Do you think he was like just so nervous? Because I wanted to cry when he was when he left, because he was like, I want to win this for my family. I felt so bad.
I know.
Because he seems like a sweet kid.
He did seem so sweet. He was so likable. He's so likable. That's the thing. It's like he is so likable, but this game is not being about likable. It's being about winning. And so that's why I'm like, okay, maybe he was on the wrong game. Let's put him on Love Island.
Oh, yeah. Everybody that's young in their 20s tells me to watch Love Island. Never seen it. They're like, oh, you have to. It's the best
I'm not
show.
gonna lie. I've actually never seen the show either. But when I was in Miami for Swim Week, I filmed the show 2 times just because they were like, can you be on our show? And I was like, yes. Absolutely. Because I just wanted to walk in with that and get a video of me, like the hot new bombshell enters the villa. Like that's the only thing I know about Love Island. But I
didn't know that.
Yeah, they are so nice. Like not as a contestant, obviously, but like just like for background and just because I want, like they paid for our dinners, sit at the table next to them, and like they are so nice. Talk about a nice, epic production company. They are so fun to work with. I was like,
really?
Yeah, they were awesome.
Okay. Well, wait, are you still married? I don't even know. Are you still married?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can't go on Love Island.
No, I'm not on Love Island. No. Yeah.
What did you think of Rachel's confrontation with Morgan in the storage room? Do you agree new BB is not like the old BB? Old BB, you were like, F you, I don't like you, get away. Like you are yelling at it. Remember me and Lydia? It was like the first week and she came in and started yelling at me and I was like, oh, hell no. And I went in there and just started screaming at her, and her and I are screaming at the top of the lungs, and she told me to calm down. Remember that?
A little bit. You
and
seem to remember it more than I did.
I was mad, but I mean like that. I had, and then Russell, like I had a lot of.
Our season was fiery. Our season was super fiery.
It was good.
Yeah. Well, not a lot of people think so.
I think it was good.
I thought it was great. But yeah, I wouldn't have let someone talk to me like
If somebody talked to me like that, I would definitely clap back.
Being in the house, I wouldn't let someone talk to me like that. Watching on television, I love that she talked like that.
Yeah. As a viewer, it's fun to watch. Being in the house, you stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, she should have stood up for herself. She did in the diary room, but not in the moment.
I don't think Morgan's personality is that to like.
But she did in the diary room. She clapped back a little bit.
But it's in the diary room. You're there by yourself.
In the moment, you got to stand up for yourself.
I think Morgan's so cute. Like, she's so pretty. I love her hair. I love how curly it is.
That's totally.
I know it's so random, but I just think she's just so beautiful.
Do you have any questions about Vince's shoes? Let's talk about Vince's shoes.
Okay, how does Alyssa feel about her spit take meme going viral in 2025? You know, that's like the most, I think, viral meme out there.
Yeah.
I was in a group chat with friends.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was in a group chat with friends here in Colorado, and they used your meme. They didn't even know I knew you.
But yeah, everyone does. Everyone will like send it to me and then send me screenshots. Like, everyone's using this in the group chat, and I like this. I know it. And I did an interview about it. It was like the most viral meme of all time. Like, it had more views than Michael Jordan's original like viral gift. So I mean, yes, crazy. I was like, it's pretty epic because it's so raw. I just was like, these people are so ridiculous in my house. It was so funny to laugh at them because I'm like, I really don't care. Like, you know, and so the things that they were saying, I'm like, I was there to win. That's all I wanted to do. You know, when we say we want to win, we literally were there to win. And I did not care if they didn't like me. I really didn't. I was like, they're so ridiculous. Like, I don't like you either. That's fine. Like, I literally did not like that either. There's nothing more I agree on than Dr. Will saying, like, I can't pick who I hate more. And that's true. Like, I literally just didn't like any of them.
For us, the holidays start November 1st in our house. And I know Jordan needs her energy to put up that Christmas tree.
Oh, yes, I do. And I start my morning. I do 4 ounces of water, 1 scoop. I put my vitamin D3, K2, shake it up, ready to go. And it helps cleanse you as well.
That's right. It's got prebiotics, probiotics, everything to keep you healthy while the weather is changing. I always get sick when the weather changes.
And it gets dark early. I hate that.
Yeah. With all that changing, it does something to your body, but AG1 keeps you on track. I drink it every single morning. It's the first thing I put in my body, and I feel good throughout the day, no matter what the weather or the time change.
I love having my AG1 because you have all your vitamins that you need that you're taking in the morning, and you're energizing your body for that day. And then also, gut health is very important to me, and that's why I stick with my AG1.
And with it being holiday season, that means it's travel season, and AG1 has antioxidants, probiotics, and functional mushrooms that support your immune resilience.
Holiday meals mean getting lost in sweets and snacking, a full spectrum of micronutrients from whole foods to help fill nutrient gaps. Don't forget to drink your AG1 in the morning and now your AGZ at night.
That's right. It's the first thing I put in my body when I wake up in the morning, and it's the last thing I put in my body when I go to sleep with AGZ. So head to drinkag1.com/togetherness to get a free welcome kit with an AG1 flavor sampler and a bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2 when you first subscribe. That's drinkag1.com/togetherness. That's drinkag1.com/togetherness.
Did you feel towards the end like, okay, I'm ready to bust out of this house. I'm ready to get on the outside world. I'm tired of playing the game?
Man, I can't really speak for how it normally would feel because I only know my experience. I think because I went in there and was just, for the most part, really authentic and just like unapologetically myself, I wasn't like exhausted from a mental standpoint, having to put up a front and things like that, because I was just being me. So it's funny, like people ask me like, oh, would you ever play again? I was like, yes, I would have gone right back in the house right after the finale and played a whole nother season.
Really?
Yeah, I was ready to go, dude. I wasn't like mentally fatigued. I think the thing that kind of was wearing me down a little bit more was more so like the longer I was there and a lot of the people that I actually genuinely liked spending time with were leaving. I found myself being like bored because I was just like, inside my thoughts a lot. And like, not that I had like horrible inner monologue, but it was just kind of like I would like wake up, sip my tea, read the Bible, take a nap, wake up, sip tea, read the Bible, take a nap. Like it was like my days were just so boring.
The downtime's the worst. I tell people like, when you're doing competitions those days, or at least looking forward to something, at least you're excited and your mind's on that.
Right.
Those other days, like Sunday through Thursday, you have nothing to do and you have to occupy your time. And like you said, if some of your friends left, then you're kind of left without those deeper conversations or someone that you could really attach yourself to, like Jordan and I did, and have that solid number one the whole game. So that must have been difficult for you.
Yeah, and then you're looking around and everybody else has their, number ones. And I'm like, oh, I'm just here. It's just me and God.
Well, that's good. Yeah, everybody's got him. Did you have any fears going into the house? Because we were on a long time ago, season 11 and 13. Social media wasn't that prevalent. Now social media is so prevalent. I mean, reality TV has changed a lot since we were on. Did you have any fears before you went into the house?
They warn you, they can edit you however they want. So that was definitely a fear of mine, being made to look like the bad guy or whatever, even though I felt like I didn't have the capacity for that. It's still a fear because they can do whatever they want. So, being baited into arguments and things like that, you never know what's going to happen. So that was a fear of mine going in. But, once I started kind of catching on to people's BS where I was like, okay, they're just looking for a TV moment and they're trying to make it off me. That ain't going to happen.
Oh, was that? Hang on. The one when Jimmy did a speech. Was that when you were on?
That was early.
That was earlier on, but now I'm forgetting. Were you on the block?
I would assume yes.
The very first speech that Jimmy made, it was during the veto ceremony of week 1. I was not on the block, but I think Ava had told him that I said he was a snake when I didn't say he was a snake. I said he was the head of the snake, meaning like the head of the other side of the house. And something got lost in translation there. He started yelling at me and I was like, okay, how long did it take for you to come up with that one?
Yeah, that's right. That was during the veto speech.
And then I was
did
like,
he throw
that
his sunglasses?
seems, yes, or something. And
it
seems super rehearsed. It's just a game.
Even though when people bring up Clown Shoe, I still get a little.
Jeff, you are by far my favorite. My wife is watching. Can you say hi, Christy? Your husband, Mark, loves you.
Oh, man. Good. That was a good poll, Ian. Thanks for that one. Christy, wait, put that back up. Who am I supposed to say hi to? Can you say, Christy, your husband, Mark? Christy, your husband, Mark, loves you very much. Know that and remember that. Keep it right here. Keep it in your heart.
So, he had reached out and was just like, hey, I have an idea. I'd love for you to look at the Big Brother house guests, and I would like you to see who do you think has an opportunity of winning or has the best chance of winning based upon their astrology. And so we pulled their birthdays, and when we were at about 7 people, immediately the first person that jumped out was Morgan. And again, I've never watched the show before. This was not something that I never had seen. I wasn't really familiar with how the show operated. I really, in the past week, had watched the episode, so I kind of have an understanding of what was happening. But when I had made my predictions, I had no idea. And so, we put that together, and I filmed a video for social media talking about, who I thought stood a chance. And who we thought would be in the final 3 and who then I thought would, end up with the money at the end of the day.
And what did you predict the final 3 and who would win the money?
Because it was by her birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
This is all by birthday, not by watching the show at all.
Nothing. So it was Vince, Ashley, and Morgan were my top 3. And
really?
Yep. And, Vince is difficult because we don't have his birthday. So I had to do a lot of kind of deep diving into the fact that I knew he was 34. I knew he was a Capricorn. And I was like, okay, let me play with some of his, what could possibly play with this person's energy. And the moment that I was looking at him, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is definitely not a winner's chart. And the joke that I cracked was, again, I don't know anything. And I said, but he definitely is about to go through a major breakup if he's in a relationship, because this specific thing that he has going on right now, I don't think I've seen many couples truly navigate that in a very clean way. It's very difficult to go through such a transit because that's what we call it in astrology, is a transit. Because, you know, it's a self-love time, not a time for a relationship. And what ends up happening is that it separates two people. And I shared that with Shane, and he was like, yeah, you need to see the show so you know what's happening here.
What?
Yeah. And number two was Ashley. And, you know, the thing with Ashley is in my recording, I talk about, I actually really liked her energy going into it. I really, really did. She's a Sagittarius. And I liked it. There was nothing against her that was negative that I was like, you know, it's, you know, she has this or nothing bad. It was just when I saw Morgan's birthday, immediately she's born on the 25th of September. And the eclipse is on the 21st of September. And when I saw that connection, I was like, she's got a lot of opportunity here for her. And I'm going to say this, I wouldn't be surprised outside of Big Brother. She could have a massive opportunity that comes out of this now for her. Because eclipses change people's lives, especially when it's really close to your birthday. And so really it was Ashley and Morgan were my two picks. And it was kind of cool to see it though, because, you know, unfortunately I love everyone who, you know, from Shane, he talked about Keanu, loves Keanu. He was the first one I kicked out. I felt so bad. And I was like, he was the first person I was able to remove. And I felt so bad. And I was like, oh no, I was like, I don't want to be that person. But he didn't, like, really, there was no, compared to Ashley and Morgan, Keanu was not even in that midst of being able to compete with them in astrology. So it was cool to see. And it, you know, I had Keanu, then Ava, then Vinny, and then Ashley and Morgan were my final two. That was my original prediction of how I saw it playing out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So is there, I know you don't know the game of Big Brother, but is there, I wonder if there, so now we have 27 winners. I wonder if there's something astrologically, something that connects those winners, like maybe their birthday or what sign they are. So what
I
month
did some
would you
research on this, actually. I actually researched this. I did, because I was actually curious. And this was after I did my research, and truly it was because of Vinny. Vinny was a very difficult character to crack. And when I came to see, Capricorns and Cancers tend to be the top two winning signs on Big Brother. And yeah, and I believe it's 4 Capricorns and 3 Cancers, or it's 4. It's really close between the both of them. And and so that was interesting because he's a Capricorn. And so I thought to myself, does he have it in him? But then when I saw, I was like, yeah, no, he can't. He's definitely not going home with, it didn't look good for him. So yeah.
He won America's Favorite, though. Does that? He won America's Favorite Player.
Keanu did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
What did you both think of Vince's breakdown during the HOH comp?
Oh my God, when he hid behind the wall.
Oh, his breakdown. I was like, wait, what? I did kind of feel bad because I was like, oh no, you're just not reading it right. And that could have changed the whole game if he would have won that. Because then him and Morgan would have won against
but then
each
Morgan
other.
would have beat him.
But I mean, I could feel his pain when you're trying to figure it out and you don't know. And you're like, I know the answer.
And he studied all season long. And it was just the simple way of it. Again,
it's
in
that
those
pressure.
Moments, you got to stop and slow everything down and say, what does this say here? You know, and I'm telling myself the same things. When I played, I was out of control and, you know, did everything fast, obviously. But you really got to take those moments and calm down. Am I reading this right? That's more important than the speed. Just like Keanu showed all season. He took that time. And then the one time he didn't, which was his whole game downfall, is when he's messing around with Vinny holding that stick of the mastermind. And he's talking about stuff.
That could have changed.
And he dropped it. The one time he wasn't dialed in, you know, and that's what happened. So
it's like things are meant to be when they're meant to be.
Yeah. All right, let's take another one.
Jeff, my husband and I really want you to take over and be the no host of Big Brother. Would you be interested in that at all?
Oh,
Big
well,
Brother is not.
I really appreciate that. One, I'm actually shocked they even showed me for 1 second on there today. So that was good. And two, Julie Chen is the host of that show. When she's done, the show is done. You can't have it any other way. You can't have someone fill in those shoes. Jerry O'Connell came in, and
It's
hosted
not
a little
the
bit.
same.
It's not the same. And I think Jerry did a great job. I think Jerry's a funny guy. It's just, if Amazing Race wouldn't be Amazing Race without Phil Colgan. Survivor wouldn't be Survivor without Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
So it's like those guys are etched in stone. There's no one else that could fill those shoes. So to me, once Julie's done, the show is done. But I really appreciate you guys even thinking that.
Zach, who would you have put up if you were still in the game and won HOH?
Okay, so do you guys want me to answer this like the perception that I still had in the house? Or
Yeah.
No, now. Because when you're in the house, listen, we know, like the audience doesn't know. When you're in there, you're trusting your gut. And then as time goes on, things start to blur. And then you're questioning yourself, you're triple questioning yourself, you're going back to your first thing. So we know how it is being in there. Being outside, what's your answer now?
Oh man, that's a really tough question. I haven't thought about that in a minute, but I will say this, like, oh man, because like when I left and like what they told me right beforehand, I was about to kind of branch off from the melting pot and like team up with somebody like a Keanu. If he had like a conversation right before live stream started last Thursday, he said, Zach, like, we're going to have only 4 guys left in the house. Now it's 3, but we're only going to have 4 guys left in the house. We got to team up together. Kelly feels like she's at the bottom of where like the totem pole is with the girls. We may have to form some type of some alliance, right? And so that would have been somebody that I was going to put on the block. If that changed, I mean, look, Ava put me up, so she was probably going to be up if I'm HOH, just for the sake of she put me up. I probably would have put Catherine up as well because she told me since day one that she didn't trust me. And I'm like, that's fine. I respect you just letting me know. And then, oh my gosh, this is tough. I probably would have put 3. I probably would have put Kelly up just for the sake of she didn't trust me after the Adrian vote. I could kind of feel that as well. That's probably the 3. I wish I had M&Ms here because that's what they do the entire time in the house. I wish I had M&Ms to kind of like figure out the groups again. But that's probably my 3. There'd probably be a 4th nom. I don't know the 4th nom right now.
But see, you're still playing the game in your head. Trust me, it takes a minute to decompress. Right? It definitely does. But you didn't even mention Rachel in those things, and she's the one running away with this game.
If there was a 4th nom, and let's say I'm still with the melting pot, let's say Vince and I survived and it was Morgan and Mickey and all 4 of us together, she would have been my 4th nom, even though she did gain so much more respect with me after that punishment. Here's the deal though. If I had known that she won HOH the week after I got evicted, probably would have pivoted to more of me, Rachel, Lauren, and Ashley, right? Because she was HOH. So, there's so much that happens in the Big Brother house. I still feel like I'm a part of the game. However, it's like keeping up with live feeds right now, like trying to live my life is a lot. I don't know how you guys do it because for me, it's a lot right now. So
has people, since you've been out, has people stopped you and they're like, hey, what's going on, Zach? I watched Big Brother.
Yeah, so I right when I got to the airport, like I was just kind of like immediately after I got evicted, I had like the Big Brother bag. They were looking at me weird. I was in like the security line and they stopped me and they're like, Zach, like what the heck, bro? And then it was that situation. And then I played pickleball with a great community over here where I live. And so there was a lot more people that joined our games after the fact because they're like, they knew me after that. So it was a really cool experience.
Thank you guys. It's been a fun season. Thanks for tuning in with us and sticking with us late night like tonight. So it's been a great season. Hopefully we pick it back up next year. And thanks for tuning in and check us out every Monday and Wednesday, like Jordan said.
Bye.
Yay Media Group.